Welcome back for round two of the Liberty Garden Premier Challenge, our first one of the brand new season. We have a very special match for you today. We have best friends going up against each other. We have Justin Carris and Danny Hemchand. Justin Carris, you might have known, got top 8 at Worlds this year. So that was obviously his best performance ever. But our good friend Danny is back and better than ever. He was actually had a military service. He's been gone since like January. He had to miss Worlds even though he had he was qualified for it. So it's great to have Danny back in the crew.
Exactly. I think this will actually be a really good matchup too. Danny, although gone for a long time, was still a really good player. I don't know what he's done in the past though, but we definitely see him do pretty well in our local scene. Justin, as mentioned before, just recently got top 8 at the World Championships. That's what we call his breakout event.
I think Justin would be the first person to tell you he got top 8 at Worlds.
Yeah.
That's good. No. He did a great job. Obviously, the whole season he won a couple mid-season showdowns. Obviously, won different premier challenges and things. So it was just great to get him out on that level. I remember he had a great interview after one of his wins at World. So we're gonna get into the first game of of round 2 here at our first premier challenge. I'm still super hyped. It feels like Worlds was only a month ago, but it just feels like it was so long ago at this point. So. It's going to be exciting. We have Justin's going to be on the top of your screen, and Danny is on the bottom. So Justin's running a team of Infernape, Xerneas, Amoonguss, Salamence, Kyogre, and Bronzong. And Danny's team is Mawile, Gengar, Zapdos, Kyogre, Bronzong, and Rayquaza.
Okay. So as you can see, Justin also brought his team from the World Championships. I believe he told me he tweaked it a little bit, changed some items around. I don't think he changed any spreads. And we have some interesting team choices from Danny with the Mawile and Zapdos. Zapdos gets the ability Static now with the event Zapdos that came out earlier this season. And I like Danny's matchup a lot more against Justin because Justin has the Kyogre and Mawile. Which can actually do a lot of damage to 4 or 5 of his Pokemon.
Right.
Under Trick Room, too, and Tailwind, actually. But this definitely benefits Mawile really well, so I won't be surprised if Danny tries to preserve that. Justin has the Amoonguss, though, so he has to be careful. So that's why Danny has to be careful with Mawile, because then Mawile will go to sleep.
Night for Mawile. So that's gonna be interesting. I've been a big proponent of Mawile throughout the entire season. Those Xerneas they're just too pesky for me. I just want to handle them. It's great. The Iron Head on Mawile can one-hit KO any variant of Xerneas. So that's gonna be important. Plus it can deal with Justin's Salamence and Infernape. Has as we saw at Worlds does a great job. We don't see him that often, but has that fake out pressure. Very strong fighting type, close combat, and overheat. So jumping into game 1 here in round 2 of the Liberty Garden Premier Challenge. Danny is on the bottom again. As I said, Gengar and Zapdos are his open, and Justin opens Salamence and Kyogre. So potential mega play here out of either of them.
Well, both these Pokemon do have Mega Stones. The Gengar also has it, sometimes carries the Focus Sash. I think that this lead favors Justin because he has the Kyogre out, and when you have a Kyogre mirror, you can actually play it really aggressively because there's no sun to worry about. So he can definitely go for some straight off Water Spouts, Origin Pulses, easy, not having to worry about the Desolate Land coming in. It's like, oh, I can't do any damage anymore. So, and Justin can also go for Tailwind with his Salamence, and but Justin also has to worry about that Zapdos going for Hidden Power onto Salamence as well. So there's lots of different plays that Justin can do, and also Danny has lots of different plays. So it's kind of like pick and choose which one you think they're going to go for, obviously. And then I think the Kyogre's pressure, though, is key here because Justin knows he can take advantage of that. So what do you think? What do you think Danny's response to that is?
I think that Hidden Power into Salamence, I thought like a good idea to me. It might even still work because of Amoonguss and the switch in on Salamence. They're both weak to ice. The Gengar is going to Mega Evolve here, so now the Amoonguss and Kyogre are stuck in due to Shadow Tag. Kyogre protects, not want to take any damage, potential Thunderbolt or something like that, and the Gengar uses Will-O-Wisp, but Amoonguss avoids Thunderbolt into Kyogre. So actually in that situation, I guess Danny went for a safer option, going to switch, using the Will-O-Wisp onto the physical attacker in Salamence, using the Thunderbolt onto Kyogre. It didn't really work out for him in that situation, but at least Amoonguss and Kyogre are stuck here now, so maybe he is free to Hidden Power Ice the Amoonguss or something. It's not like Trick Room is up, right? So
there's no Trick Room, obviously, and then I think that Danny might have to make a switch though, because he can't just leave in these two Pokemon against an Amoonguss that's just going to Rage Powder, take both attacks, and then take lots of damage back from the Origin Pulse, and he might actually need these two later in the game. So I think Danny needs to pull a switch, and the Hidden Power Ice won't do that much, and he can't Thunderbolt because then he can get Rage Powder.
Right. So he does switch out that Zapdos, as you were saying, into the Rayquaza. Can't Mega Evolve, but he does have that Airlock ability. Rage Powder is gonna take over any attacks Gengar brings in, and Taunt. So kind of, maybe he was already going after the Amoonguss on that play. Taunts the Amoonguss, not gonna be able to Rage Powder. Water Spout into both. Gengar is knocked out, and Rayquaza is at just over half health. So I don't know. Trading your Mega for a Taunt and an Amoonguss, I don't know if that's a fair trade.
I think it was actually a fair trade because now Danny has a free switch. That's always good. And then he has lots of damage that he can do with the Rayquaza. So he can either go for a Dragon Ascent on a Kyogre, or he can Dragon Ascent the Amoonguss. So, but the Amoonguss is taunted, so he can't protect against it. So that does limit Justin a lot, but the Salamence is in the back, so Danny has to be aware of that. And with both Kyogres in the field, I think there's going to be a lot of damage going off this turn. But I think the position still favors Justin just because of that Salamence in the back, which he can use to take advantage of the Intimidate, which can also lead to Danny actually getting knocked out this turn.
Right.
But Danny's doing what he can to get himself in a good position, but Justin just put on so much pressure from turn one that Justin just kind of wins the matchup game and the pressure, and Justin knows that, so he can play off of that.
Well, this is going to be a big turn here for Danny. Deciding to bring in the Kyogre instead of the Zapdos to get that Thunderbolt damage off on Kyogre. So he brought in his own Kyogre to try to handle this situation. The Rayquaza can't Mega Evolve, as we said, because Gengar Mega Evolved. Amoonguss switches out. Obviously, it's taunted. Wouldn't be able to do anything, really. Into the Salamence, who has that Intimidate, because he didn't Mega Evolve. He switched out first turn. Now the Rayquaza is -1, so even if he did go for a Dragon Ascent, not going to do as much damage. He protected though, so he wasn't falling for that trick. And so Danny's Water Spout goes off first. Is he going to do a lot? It does half to Salamence and only a little bit to Kyogre. And the opposing Justin's Kyogre Ice Beams right into Rayquaza's Protect. So good play on Danny's end to know that Ice Beam was coming from Justin.
Right. I think although Danny did have a good switch, Danny did have a good protect there. I think Justin had a better switch because Justin now gets a free double edge, and he also gets the Intimidate off onto Rayquaza. So Justin's really good at keeping that pressure and sticking with it, because a lot of players can just lose that pressure really quickly, and then the momentum shifts back. We saw a little bit of that in round one, but I think that actually is working really well for Justin, just keeping that up, and he's winning this game pretty convincingly, actually.
So the Mega Salamence comes in, going to protect his own Kyogre and not want to take any damage. We saw the Zapdos switch into that position. Tailwind coming off from Salamence, so he's going to obviously be faster. Scald into Kyogre slot, which protected. So interesting going with the Scald in that situation. Maybe trying to get a burn or something like that. But now he has the Zapdos in, who has the Thunderbolt and Hidden Power Ice. Obviously, both of his Pokemon are slower, but at least he has a little bit more offensive pressure that is super effective, right?
Right. You have to also think that Justin got a Tailwind off, so he can go for a really fast water spout this turn. Which
Oh, that's right.
Which he just does.
So the double target into into the Zapdos is able to get the knockout before Zapdos can get a super effective attack off. Knocked out. Kyogre does get the knockout onto Salamence, so a little bit a critical hit that was unnecessary. So Justin was able to, take a sizable advantage in that turn, and he brings out his tried and true buddy in VGC 16, that's Xerneas. And Danny comes out with his Rayquaza again.
Okay. I have to say, Justin is really playing this game well. With that Xerneas, well, not Xerneas, but the Mence Tailwind Protect turn was really key to that win this upcoming win, I think, because Justin can easily just Dazzling Gleam, Water Spout. He's left with only Kyogre left. There's no way that's going to come back.
Yeah, so Danny's going to forfeit game 1. Justin, who, again, got top 8 at Worlds this season, was able to get his win here in game 1. Hopefully Danny can come back, make a series out of this. He's obviously a top-level player, has won multiple PCs, has top cut regionals in the past. So obviously these guys are also very good friends too. So it's good to have Danny back. It's a good
because
guy.
of that, I'm pretty sure that they know each other's teams in and out, and Justin also wrote a report. So easy.
A very extensive report. I might add.
So I think I'm really surprised that Danny didn't bring the Mawile. I think that he could have really taken advantage of Mawile's presence or actually team preview matchup. But you have to also think that there's an Amoonguss. So like I said before, Amoonguss really pressures that Mawile because you don't want to get spored, and Kyogre pressures it too because you can just get Water Spout or Origin Pulse and Mawile is just gone. So if Danny wants to bring Mawile, he has to figure out a way to get rid of the Kyogre and Amoonguss, but it's hard to do that with that Salamence and Xerneas pressuring all of his other Pokemon, other than Bronzong. So perhaps Danny might have to think of a completely new strategy to beat Justin because his first one obviously didn't work. I really have to say though that Protect Tailwind turn on the Switch was really good, and I think that won Justin the game. So Danny has to be really cautious of which turns he does what because he can't play defensive on a turn that Justin's going to Tailwind on.
So what about, let's say Mawile Zapdos. Mawile is able to take the pressure onto Xerneas, onto Salamence. Zapdos can handle the Kyogre, so Kyogre can't just Water Spout and destroy the Mawile. Maybe that'll switch it up. Because even though Gengar was able to trap Amoonguss in there and get that taunt off, Gengar was one hit by the Water Spout. So I don't know. Maybe try things differently in game 2 here with Mawile.
Right. Danny has to, or if he does the same thing this game, then it's gonna look pretty good for Justin, unless there's gonna be some different text or something.
So we see the Gengar again on Danny's side, with Gengar and Kyogre, and Justin switches it up completely this time with Xerneas and Amoonguss open. And they got those pretty little ribbons too. So that's totally different now. He's got that redirect power on Amoonguss, so they can't just go right after the Xerneas, and Xerneas can get set up right away.
I think Justin led well here again because it's literally a free Geomancy turn. It's not completely free, but Justin will take some damage, but overall I think it's better for Justin to get the Geomancy off because he can just play off of that, and Danny has to play like how you should play against Geomancy and just try and take out that Xerneas. So he's really taking advantage of knowing what his opponent has to do in order to win, and I think that's really what Justin is doing right now. Actually, he's just Rage Powder Geomancy. That's all he has to do.
Yeah, it's the simplest play, but it's effective. Gengar Mega Evolves, goes for the taunt again. Geomancy is going to absorb that power, going to boost his special attack, special defense, and speed. So he's going to take probably a Water Spout from the Kyogre, but with that Geo boost, it's really not going to be too much of an issue. It's kind of a situation again where both of Danny's Megas, Gengar and Mawile, it's difficult for them to deal with Amoonguss. So either situation, Water Spout does just under half to both of the Pokemon. So Now Justin's in a great spot because he has that redirect pressure with Amoonguss, and he's got the Geo boosted Xerneas. So
Right.
kind of just getting set up turn 1.
You also have to consider that Danny does have an out to this. He can Sludge Bomb, go for a water attack, and that can probably take out the Xerneas. So it's a matter of, does Justin protect the Xerneas or not? Justin can protect, make a switch, protect, go for Grass Knot, but he has to make the right call here, or else this game could actually very well be over from turn 2. So it's a very crucial turn for Danny, and if he can pull off the right play, I think he can actually take the game because Justin is losing a lot of pressure there.
Well, let's see if Danny can take it. Amoonguss is essentially useless. I guess he can have Giga Drain to do a little bit of damage onto the Kyogre. But Xerneas does go for that Protect. You were saying Sludge Bomb into that Protect, Scald into Protect, and Grass Knot over Giga Drain, which obviously does more because Kyogre is heavier. It's the only damage that can get done all turn. So Justin, predicted that correctly, knew that there was going to be a double target. But I think it's more of the same situation, right? Because
the only difference now, I'm sorry, but
no, it's all right.
the only difference now is that I think that the Kyogre is actually in Moonblast range. So if the Kyogre goes down to Moonblast, then the Xerneas will get to stay for another turn, but the Protect does come off.
So we see the Protect out of Kyogre. Moonblast goes into the Gengar, not the Kyogre.
Oh man.
Does live. Sludge Bomb gonna do a good amount. Does not get the knockout. Poison. It
It's
gets
a
the poison.
poison.
Xerneas is poison. He's gonna go down this turn no matter what. Grass Knot into protected Kyogre. So Gengar takes a lot of damage there, but he's able to get the knockout because of that 30% chance on that poison. That was a huge turn. Because Amoonguss presumably still has one more turn where he's taunted, so he's just a lame duck out there. Can only Grass Knot. Justin sends in his Kyogre, so maybe it's a speed tie situation, but that was huge for Danny to get Xerneas off the field.
Okay, though Justin did lose his Xerneas, I think that he also has an out too. So yes, Danny did get the. I'm sorry. Though Danny did actually get the Xerneas off the field like he had to, Justin has Kyogre now. So it's a little harder for Justin to win, but there's still outs he has. He can Grass Knot here and go for maybe a Water Spout or Scald. But I think it just favors Danny a lot more now because of that poison.
Sludge Bomb into the Amoonguss does not get the knockout. Scald into the opposing Kyogre. What Justin with that Water Spout, not full health, but pretty close. Gengar's going to get knocked out. Ooh. Kyogre goes down to 67.
Will that Grass Knot kill?
Grass Knot, 67, that's a lot out of that little Amoonguss there. He gets the knockout! Amoonguss, the little mushroom that can, he gets the knockout.
Wow.
So Danny loses both Pokemon, and the taunt gets worn off this turn. So a huge turn situation there for Justin. We see Danny brings in the Rayquaza and Zapdos, but that was, can't even state, that was a big deal for Justin to get that double knockout.
Yeah. But you have to also think, well, Danny lost 2 Pokemon, but he does get the switches back into, not back, but into Rayquaza and Zapdos. So Danny does have a lot of offensive pressure now, but it depends on what Justin's last Pokemon is. If it's Salamence, I think that... Actually, no, I don't actually know what way Justin can...
Because he can Extreme Speed right now, right? And as he does, he gets the Extreme Speed
on what Zapdos does,
on Amoonguss.
If he goes for Tailwind, then he'll outspeed the Salamence that might come in.
Well, and he goes for Thunderbolt, get the damage off on Kyogre, which does a good amount, but as Ice Beam into... Rayquaza is Focus Sash, though. Oh, into Zapdos, not Rayquaza.
Ooh,
and he lives with 8 health.
Just a little bit.
Wow, all right. That was clutch on Zapdos' end to live off of that Ice Beam. Okay. Citrus Berry, not going to help him out that much because he'll still get knocked out. But we see the Salamence who gets the Intimidate off.
I think that Zapdos had an opportunity to go for Tailwind there, and I don't know if that matters or not, but I think...
Well, so if he got Tailwind off, he'd... the damage there wouldn't have been... Yeah, the damage wouldn't be there.
But because he went for Thunder... I know for a fact that because of Thunderbolt, I don't see Justin losing this game now because he has
Right.
the Intimidate onto Rayquaza. It's not doing anything. And then, actually, no. The Hyper Voice has to take out the Zapdos or go for Double Edge. But then it comes down to like the Rayquaza Salamence team, which Salamence wins.
Right, because
So
you got the focus
that's why I'm
sash.
saying that Salamence is, not Salamence, because Zapdos didn't do something else that turn, that the, oh,
He's faster because Salamence wasn't Mega Evolved.
they speed tied.
So he gets the knockout.
Wait, I don't know. Wait.
Not yeah. So neither Salamence or
Voice.
Rayquaza were Mega Evolved.
Okay, wait,
so
no,
the Hyper
no.
Voice doesn't get the knockout. Zapdos lives with 10 HP.
Wait, no.
Dragon
Wait,
Ascent.
wait.
It is intimidated, but it should be able to do enough, or it should do a lot. No, wow,
No.
less than I thought after just one Intimidate.
I think that
Oh.
Dragon Ascent. Okay, yeah, I think Justin still wins because although Justin lost his speed tie, he needed to get rid of the Salamence more than the Kyogre, I think there, because now the Hyper Voice. Just
Yeah,
takes them
Hyper
both
Voice
out.
gets the double knockout.
I thought.
because of the Dragon Ascent, the defense.
I must
lowering,
admit,
so.
I thought after winning that speed tie that I thought after winning that speed tie, it was actually gonna go in Danny's favor, but the Hyper Voice just did enough to where it would KO the Zapdos again after another one, and because he went for Dragon Ascent, the special defense drop, both of them went down, and now Justin takes the game 2-0.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to that Zapdos in that situation because he lived the Ice Beam with 8 health, got the Citrus Berry up, and then he lived the Hyper Voice in that. So that was clutch. So
Yeah.
almost pulling it out. Obviously they're good friends, so they're joking around, having fun behind us. Justin had a favorable matchup in that situation. So he was able to come out on top, but obviously Danny's back. He's back in the scene, so he's gonna have more successes along the way. So yeah, only like we said, first PC of the season. So only round 2, only get better from here. So stay tuned. Like our Twitter, Liberty Garden. If you haven't already, stay in chat, talk to your friends. We'll see you in round 3.